All right. Well, we don't always double up guests, but when we do, it's typically because a title is in the sights. And that is the case for Hannah Silva on November 14th, live from the Masonic Temple. Hannah, cannot wait to talk about all that has been going on, but we haven't talked to you in a couple of years. How have you been overall in terms of just your MMA career?
I've been doing good. I mean, there's been a few highs and lows, definitely learning a lot, getting to where I know I need to be to make that pro step, but I'm having a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
How does that feel to get back to that mountaintop that you've been searching for since you lost it a couple of years ago?
Oh yeah, it feels great, especially being able to go up to the weight class I feel is more comfortable for me and being able to have held a title in two different weight classes is going to be really cool. So it's everything that I've been working towards is finally here. So I'm super excited about that.
What does feel best about the flyweight weight class for you specifically?
I think mostly just like, first of all, not having to diet is a big thing for me. I love eating. Like, it's kind of a reward after a hard day of training, being able to drink as much water as I want and like eat versus like feeling like I trained really hard. Now I have to deplete myself. I don't really get like a sweet treat after training. So I think mostly that. And even at 125, I'm still cutting a little bit, but I don't feel like I'm like necessarily losing muscle versus at 115. I feel like I kind of had to like not be as strong versus now. So I'm feeling a lot stronger at 125.
You know, one thing that I've always found interesting about you and your fiance, Morgan, is that you're both vegan athletes. And I don't think that there's a lot of those in this space. When it comes to that lifestyle and that way of eating, what are some of the things that you're consuming in terms of fuel for your training sessions?
Well, mostly carbs. So
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that a lot of people like that's like hard about when we cut weight is cutting carbs. That's what a lot of people say. But for us, that's everything we eat from like rice and bean burritos is one of my favorite things, pastas, a lot of fruit. And then the occasional vegan cookie and the vegan chocolate chip muffins. They just opened a Sprouts in St. George and that has a lot of already made vegan treats. So just trying to really make sure that we're feeling ourselves having a lot of protein, drinking our protein shakes and stuff, but like pretty much normal food that most people would eat, but a lot more carbs is what I've noticed.
When did you go vegan?
I was only 16, so
Oh, wow.
that's gonna be 10 years. So it'll be 10 years next year.
What is it like eating vegan for years at this point? And do you remember what it was like prior? Again, I hope that none of this sounds offensive or anything, but like,
Mhm.
do you ever miss eating meat, or do you ever think about it, or any sort of animal based product?
I don't find it offensive because I
Okay,
think
good.
everyone kind of eats their own thing. At this point, it's more like I eat my things, they eat their things.
Yeah.
It doesn't really affect or offend me when other people eat differently. But for me, I definitely noticed like when I was 16, I was very underweight. And so I did not care about my health whatsoever versus going vegan. I kind of have to read and make sure what I'm eating is obviously vegan. And now I can like understand more like nutritious type foods. I don't ever miss anything because especially now in today's society, you could get anything vegan. But when I went vegan at 16, there was no vegan cheese or vegan meats. It was tofu, rice, and veggies. So it's a little bit more boring back then, but now I feel like since there's so many things, like if I'm craving a cookie or like a cake, I can easily make that vegan. So I don't really find those cravings different. I do feel a lot more energized being vegan versus when I wasn't. And people that I've talked to that kind of started going eating more vegan, I noticed that they say the same things too, like more energetic, more guilt-free type things. Like even though I eat as much as I possibly want, if I'm not training, my weight will stay the same. If anything, my weight kind of like goes a little bit heavier, lifting more and stuff. So I notice I can cut weight easy and gain weight easy as a vegan. So that's one thing that I really like about that.
Do you have a favorite vegan substitute?
Well, I like, let me think. There's so much. I am such a foodie, which some people wouldn't think because I'm vegan, but I think that my favorite thing is the veg nutrition protein powder. That's one of my favorite things because that protein powder, you shake it like twice and it's already mixed up versus like those chunks. I hated protein shakes when I wasn't vegan. I was like, I'm never going to drink those. Those are for like bodybuilders, but I love them now. I have my creatine with them too. So I'm still getting like that strength stuff. I would say like probably vegan meats, honestly. And that's made out of like pumpkin seed protein or like different types of protein. It's not just, oh, a piece of meat. It can like be so different. I feel like I'm eating more foods as a vegan now.
You haven't lost at fear since that loss to Kelly McKay all those
Mhm.
years ago. How much have you learned from that loss and just the rest of your career since that moment?
I feel like one thing that I definitely learned is being nicer to myself because I would go train. Every person I train with is bigger than me, stronger than me. So I would go train with like my fiance and my brother in law. They're like 170 pounds. If I couldn't take them down or if they hit me too hard, I'd be like, oh, I'm not going to win my fight. I just lost in that round. I'm not going to do as good as I think I'm going to do. So changing that to like, I had a good training round. I'm tough. I still went for the takedowns even though I couldn't do them. Like having a better like inner voice, and especially in the back. I've noticed all the fights that didn't go my way in the back, I was way more nervous, kind of like accepting the loss before I even got in the cage. So now I go into a fight expecting to win, but knowing that I'm going to be okay no matter what the outcome.
You're 7-5 as an amateur. You've had peaks and valleys. For you, how do you handle loss? Maybe back then versus now.
So handling a loss, I think like it's honestly heartbreaking. I think everyone can say that. It's more of like I just wanted that win versus like I feel like I got like hurt or something. Like I honestly don't care about getting hurt at this point. Like that the next day it doesn't matter. You put a little ice on it, like you're fine. But that heart feeling is kind of harder where after losses I feel like stronger because I don't have that like, oh well I won my fight, I'm good. It has to come from within. Even though I just had lost a fight or something, I have to tell myself like I'm still the best. I can still be a champ even though right now I haven't like proved it. Like if I lost a fight, I would feel like, oh, I can't do it anymore. Like staying positive, keeping that high is like easier after a loss actually because I have to find it from within.
How much would you say you focused on your mental? Because it seems like for you, that is one of your greatest weapons that maybe goes unnoticed.
I think like on a daily, the minute I wake up, I'm thinking of my fight. I'm thinking, what can I do today to make myself feel more ready for the fight? Not just training, which that is one mental thing too. After a long day of like working outside in the heat or the cold, just wanting to get in my comfy bed and cuddle with Morgan, but instead I tell myself like training today is what's making me the champion. Training hard right now, even if I like have a hard training, if I go step on the mats and I do my class, that's enough. That's all I have to do is show up for myself. And I think that, like I said, being in the back is one really important thing because everyone is nervous. Like if you just like take a time to look at every fighter, even the coaches, you can see it, you can feel the energy. So I think that like staying within myself, reminding myself like I can win. It's kind of a spiritual thing, like looking from beyond myself, trusting like the universe is going to give me what I want. If I trust in it and I stay positive, then I will get what I want.
So much of your insight sounds as though you've been at this for years. And at this point, you have been. You have more fights by any female in the state of Utah this decade. You made that debut in October of 2020, 5 years again, like mentioned. How proud are you of what you've been able to culminate?
Oh yeah, it's definitely something that I feel really proud of. Winning or losing, just accepting the fight, saying yes, training, cutting the weight, going in the cage. Like it's a lot to be proud of and make myself like feel good. I think that's why a lot of people fight. It is a confidence booster. It's proving to yourself that no matter what, you're putting yourself like on display. Literally, hundreds of people are watching you. It's gonna be videotaped. You can like sometimes I'll see my like other opponents that I've lost, like will repost some action shots. And I'm like, oh, that's a good shot. Like I'm just like getting beat in that picture or something. Like just reminding myself like it's a fight, it's okay, it's not the end of the world, it's just like a sport, you win or lose. And like just reminding myself that showing up, signing the contract, going in the cage, that's enough to be proud of.
We talked a little bit about your size and stature and the fact that you are typically the smallest person in any training room that you enter. One of the things that I think has built you into the fighter that you are is your heart and your durability. We talk about it every broadcast, how you can seem like you're getting maybe, you might be down on the scorecards and then you come away with the victory. It's really been incredible to watch over the years. Do you
Yeah,
think a lot of that has to do with training alongside Morgan and Brody and these bigger bodies?
I do think so because I will go into a fight and like getting hit in the face or getting like smothered. It's more of like, oh, I know I'm losing that round. Like that's kind of what gets in my head versus like I'm getting hurt. Cause like getting hit by Morgan and Brody, that hurts, you know? Going into a fight with someone 50 pounds lighter, it's not that bad. Like I do feel like I have a pretty strong chin and it doesn't feel like as aggressive. Like I tell Morgan and Brody, like if I'm not cut open or if I'm not on the ground knocked out, then you're fine. Don't say sorry. Don't feel like you're going too hard. Like I'll be okay no matter what. Because sometimes they'll hit me good and we know like that was a good shot and they're like sorry and I'm like don't say sorry. You're helping me. You're making me stronger by having to take these shots and like back then I would feel like after I would get hit kind of hard, I'd want to be comforted by Morgan. You know, he's my husband. I want him to make me feel better. But now it's like I get hit hard, we kind of all just ignore it and like tough it out and know that like okay, after once when I step off the mats, now he's my husband versus when I'm on the mats, he's strictly my coach. He's going to do what it takes for me to be a champion at that point.
Has it been hard to gauge that over the years?
The only hard thing about it is trying not to be so like emotionally involved when Morgan fights because I'll sit in there, I'll sit on the cage side and I'm like, okay, I'm a coach right now. I'm not a wife. I got to remember like I mean part of it does help because he knows that his cornerman is his family. So we are going to look out for him, but we know he wants to win. We know how tough he is and stuff. Like he knows how tough I am. So it is honestly pretty easy because I feel like he's extra tough on me because he knows I want to walk away with that belt. So he's going to do, even if I'm like arguing with him, like, hey, I'm going, like, this is hard. I don't want to train right now. I'm tired. He, like, that doesn't matter. He's going to make sure I get into the cage or get into the gym to train hard.
Again, headed into your 13th fight. For 5 years, you have been so busy in terms of your MMA schedule. Who would you say has been the toughest dance partner you faced across from?
Ooh, that's kind of hard. Well, I would say the toughest fight that I felt like the most like that was just hard. That was maybe someone I wouldn't really want to fight again. Probably would be Kelly. Or in my last Tough Enough fights, I fought a girl, Rosalani. Her striking was just unreal, and she had really good takedown defense. So I kind of felt like I was forced to just kind of stand there. You know, I actually dropped from some leg kicks, which was crazy to me because I never thought that that would ever happen. But I think that those two, it was more like I didn't have an answer for what they were doing versus like other losses, like, okay, they just kind of had the upper hand the whole time. But those two, it was really like I came back from that fight thinking like I got to work on a lot of things. Like I got to really step it up to get to where I want to be now.
What has been the goal over the past couple of years? Has it always been to get back to a title fight like this one that you've got up and coming?
Yes, for sure. I mean, definitely the goal is UFC, doing everything I can to make this like my life. Like right now, I currently do work a 40 plus hour job, work week job. And eventually, obviously, it would be cool to just train the whole time. You know, like if I'm putting 8 to 10 hours a day at a hard physical labor job, I feel like if I didn't have that, I definitely could be training a lot harder, doing a lot more. And like just getting this title fight is something that I attracted and I thought about. So like I already feel like I won the belt just because I already attracted. I actually kind of had a thought that I was going to fight this girl too. It's like, oh, this would be cool if I fought her at 125. So it's just crazy how it ends up. It hasn't even happened yet, but I already feel like I won.
What is your typical 9 to 5 for people who might not know?
I work 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then when it gets closer to the winter, because it's colder and like we have to wait for the grass to unfreeze, it'll change from like 7 to 3, and then we'll work on the weekends from like 5 to 10.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a lot, but our boss is very supportive. He knows that we fight. So he'll let us like leave a little early, or he like understands, like for example this fight we're supposed to work that weekend, but he's totally like, "No, you got your fight. Like we'll figure it out."
What does your training schedule look like after work? Because again, early mornings, off relatively early afternoon. So then what does the rest of the day look like for you guys?
So usually I'll try to nap for sure. That's like one thing I really look forward to is napping. So like right now we're working 6 to 2 because they kind of slowly push it once when it gets closer to the winter. So from 6 to 2 we work, and then we come home, drink our protein shakes because I like to have my protein shakes after work since I kind of need it. It's like a workout at work. Like today, for example, I shoveled for a good while. So I feel like I already worked out today. And then after I get that protein shake in and eat some food, rest a little bit, I'll do like 1 to 2 hour training session. Morgan's hand is still healing right now. So I'm training with Brody, which is kind of funny because he's like 6'2", and I know that my opponent's like 5'1". So I think that that's going to help. I just aim for his chest, so I know I'm eye level and stuff. And then after training, me and Morgan, like, we'll watch our shows, we'll eat our food. Like, it's honestly pretty chill.
Do you have a favorite victory or a favorite moment over the past half decade?
I think that for sure winning the belt was one of my big ones. My last two fierce fights, I'm really proud of because Chloe actually, I was kind of nervous to fight her again because she was my third fight ever of my career, and that was the first time I actually like took some damage and got hit. Like I threw up in the back because my head just hurt. I had her blood all over me, so that one was really intense. Knowing that I was going to fight her again was kind of nerve wracking. And then being able to submit her again, but even faster, was like really, I was like really proud of myself for that. And then with the Casey Pierce fight, having that adversity, the Tyler Thomason told me, like, I'm not going to let that happen again. Like, he's not going to let me just sit there and get hit in the face. So I knew, like, I got to step it up. So that one I was really proud of because I went from literally almost the fight got called almost to coming back, and I got the victory.
You draw Kiani Benali in just a couple of weeks. What do you make of her?
I think that I do respect her jujitsu because she's more like BJJ type of jujitsu versus like MMA jujitsu where she's tricky. So I think that me and her kind of have that in common where we're both comfortable being on our backs and looking for those submissions. Even if we're getting punched in the face, we're going to look for those submissions. So I think that this fight, I'm definitely planning on striking a little bit more just because I want to strike anyway. I'm not afraid to go to the ground. I'm ready to grapple her and stuff. So I'm excited to fight her. I feel like it's going to be a good fight. Oh, sorry. I feel
That's
like
okay.
it's going to be a good fight between us. I know the fans are going to love it. I know that she has a lot of people. Like when I watched her fights, her walking out, all I hear is just people screaming because she's really high up there. She's undefeated in Utah, technically.
Mm-hmm.
Her only loss is against a girl I already lost to as well. So I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm honestly not sure if she's going to try to grapple me or strike. So it's kind of fun. I'm excited.
I'm curious with Morgan's hand and the injury that he sustained a couple of months ago. Have you been able to grapple with him at all? Or what does this camp look like in terms of grappling?
So I've been training with Brody specifically, and then I have gone to Vegas with my sister. I've trained with her at her gym, the UFC Fit Gym.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of grappling rounds there with some other like purple blue belts, like around my size, a little bit bigger than me. And then I actually did go to One Hit MMA a little bit ago. I trained with Kiwi, so that was good to feel someone that's actually my size. So this fight, I was more open to like going to other gyms to get more of that experience. But overall, it's kind of just like Brody's like the dummy. I'm working on my submissions. Like I'm able to drill everything I want. And then when we train, if I can take Brody down, I feel pretty confident because he's heavy.
You brought up something that I think a lot of people don't know about, that being your older sister, Bethany Silva. She made her debut at Fierce a couple of years ago. We haven't seen her, but all that being said, she's been traveling, she's moved around a little bit. She's a black belt herself, and you guys grew up training together. How how likely is it maybe that down the road, maybe she is someone who's in your corner? Or would you want that, or is that not something you're interested in?
I definitely would be interested in that. And I was even considering that this fight
Yeah.
because I knew I could have three people. But right now she's kind of transitioning into, does she want to coach more or does she want to fight? I literally was just texting her and she's like, I think I want to fight. I'm like, you better not be messing with me right now. Like, I think it'd be a lot of fun for us to be on the same card. But I think that her being in my corner, I think she might kind of be a little too nervous. You know what I mean? Like, my last fight, she was right there before I walked out. And it was kind of like fun because I was like, all right, it reminds me like my family's here. They're here to watch me. She's obviously super proud when I win, especially when I get a submission. She goes crazy over that. But that is something I'm definitely open to is her being in my corner.
You talked about it at the top. I believe you've kind of mentioned this slightly in the past that this is probably the last one at amateur.
Yeah, so I would hope that this is last one at amateur just because I feel like at this point it is kind of hard to find opponents. No one wants to fight someone with 14 amateur fights after, you know what I mean, or 13 fights. So I think that experience wise and part of me, like, I think everyone before they go pro, like, you're not going to fully feel ready. You know what I mean? So I think that it's kind of just that push. Like, I know my cardio can handle it. I'm excited to throw elbows for sure and knees to the face. Like, that's just fun. So definitely after this fight, I would be open, like, winning this belt and having someone like wanting to challenge me for it. I would definitely want to defend the belt. But I think that after this fight, definitely go pro.
Well, we look forward to it. November 14th, live from the Masonic Temple. Hannah, it's been so great to have you back. We cannot wait for this
Thank
title
you.
opportunity.